Peace. Peace, everybody. AOBTV. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you share this. Appreciate y'all tapping in. Today's topic, laws of legal power. In other words, legal maxims. We're going to start dropping legal maxims. We're going to start getting away from, explaining how to do things. We're trying to give y'all remedies, and we're just going to stick to the legal maxims because these are the fundamentals of law. Legal maxims are the fundamental principles, standards of pretty much all laws that govern our day-to-day life. All right. We're going to start making episodes about other things too. Besides the law, we're going to talk about the universal law. We're going to talk about history, talk about some science. But as you know, or as you may know, law is a science. Law is a science, similar to agriculture, similar to industry, right? Industrial science, similar to any other industry or any other group of organized collective individuals getting money. It's a science to it. Science to getting money. Science to being free. Science to love, peace, and happiness. So we want to go through a few of these legal maxims out of this Black Law Dictionary. And I also have a law that I'm going to share with y'all, pledge of government obligations. We're going to tap in with another law. I keep telling y'all what money is. I keep telling y'all to stop giving these people your hard-earned cash and start giving them what they asking for. Okay, I'm trying to tell y'all to start paying with your obligations and fulfilling your obligations to the very end of the contractual relationship. And then get your money back. Because what we read the other day, when one pays knowing that he owes, he can recover. But one who pays knowing that he owes nothing will not recover anything. Shouldn't be paying debts you know you don't owe. Somebody say you owe money you know you don't owe, don't pay them nothing. But if they say you owe money and you owe, or you can say, well, I accept the payment, you can make the payment and ask for your money back. It's called exoneration. To conceal is one thing, to be silent is another. Concealing one's identity involves more than just remaining silent. It encompasses various tactics such as physical appearance being altered, using pseudonyms, carefully controlling one's speech and your behavior to avoid detection. Simply staying quiet may not be sufficient to fully conceal one's identity in many situations. You know, being identified is to be unconcealed. To conceal is to be unidentified. Okay? So one's identity can be concealed by more than just remaining silent. It's your ways and actions. You ever seen like them spy movies where you be living next to the spy next door and he lives a normal life and nobody knows he's a spy? He's concealing his identity on top of staying silent. A dubious expression is construed against the party using it. What's that mean? That means if you put something in a contract that's ambiguous or doubtful and its interpretation is maybe just confusing, it's going to be the responsible party is going to be the party who drew the contract up. So if you write something and you write a typo, it's your fault. It's not the reader's fault. If you make a contract and you put the wrong amount of money and you happen to pay somebody or owe somebody more than what you said you was gonna give them, it's not their fault. It's your fault. However, contracts are negotiable. Distinction is one thing, separation another. There's a nuanced difference between distinction and separation. Distinction implies recognizing differences or unique characteristics between things, while separation suggests physically or conceptually dividing and setting apart entities from each other. See, you separate and then make a distinction. Or you can make a distinction without separation. Two things can be together and be distinct, like twins. A mother knows which one of her sons is which one if she has twins, quadruplets, because she understands the distinction between her children. There's many distinctions between original people from continent to continent, but there's no true difference between us all. We've just been separated, divided, and conquered, and told that our distinctions are absolute values instead of relativity. It is a tree while it's growing, wood when it cannot grow. You know, use everything till its last use. While a tree is growing, it's a living organism fulfilling its role in the ecosystem. But once harvested and processed, it becomes a material for various uses: buildings, bridges, crafting, food, paper, pencils. So a tree gets put to use, whether it's a tree or whether it's wood that's not growing no more. An award is the judgment of a good man according to equity and virtue. The idea that an award reflects judgment of a virtuous individual based on fairness and moral principles suggests that it's given with integrity and consideration for what is right and just. Such recognition is often seen as a validation of merit and ethical conduct. So when you get awards for the judgment of your good character, Employee of the Month, MVP, Scoring Champ, Defensive Player of the Year. They don't teach us the other awards. Nobel Peace Prize. There we go. See what else these legal maxims got for us. Da-da-da. Let's see. And we skip through the letters. Let the seller beware. Yeah. Anytime you're selling something, you better beware its recourse. Let the buyer beware. Let the traveler beware. Let the buyer beware, for he ought not to act in ignorance when he buys what another has right to. Beware of fragments. What's that mean? Beware of fragments. Let's break this down. Fragmented conversations, fragmented sentences. Beware of the fragments. Beware of somebody giving you an incomplete sentence. Beware of the incomplete sentences in life. Beware of the fragmented thoughts, the fragmented conversations, the fragmented actions. The one step forward, two steps backward, the one hand in, the other hand out, the left hand not telling the right hand what's going on. Beware of fragments. This should be called $1 billion again. It's all on a business, y'all. Make sure y'all like and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram at All on the Business TV. Hit me on Cash App. Blast me with a donation. It is incompatible with good faith to insist on the extreme subtleties of the law. What's that saying? That's saying, man, if you acting in good faith, do what you got to do. Don't nitpick at every little thing. This is why police do what they do without thought. They do the things they do without thought because they feel like, or they're gonna say that they did it in good faith. They had probable cause. So that's when they drop the hammer down fast and then give you to the judge for that hammer. But the police gonna drop that hammer down quick too, not worried about what. There's a case law I read where a judge said, when an officer is acting in good faith, then he has nothing to worry about when he's getting sued. If somebody's suing the officer who acted in good faith, if he truly acted in good faith, then he could go about his business as an officer. He could go about his business and not even worry about the lawsuit because he did everything in good faith. Wow. Listen to this one. Now, this is heavy. I got one for y'all. Ding, ding, ding. Writings produced by legacy hunters have no value for inheritance. Hold on. Clout chasers. All this stuff by these clout chasers don't got no substantial value. Ain't worth nothing. Clout chasing. I always said that to myself. These internet gurus. You just want the people's money, but you don't want to give back to the people. You don't have nothing to offer the people. But you want to take from the people because you a legacy hunter. You a clout chaser. They got a new word for that. Instead of legacy hunter, we call it a clout chaser. You hunting the legacy. You need to stop hunting legacy. And you need to live a legacy. Hunting legacy to get money. It's not valuable. He is most free from danger. Who, even when safe, is on his guard. He is most free from danger. Who, even when safe, is on his guard. It's like you tell your woman, take the pepper spray, take the taser. Where you going? When you cross the street, you look both ways. When you park your car, you put the e-brake on and you look both ways before you get out. Yo, you eat right. Think about it. You eat right. You freeing yourself from danger. But even once you start eating right, you stay on guard. You keep eating right. Yeah, man, you stay on your guard. Respect your enemy. Respect your enemy. Even when you safe. The threat of harm is potential. It's potential. Even when you safe, there's potential for harm. This is all game. This is all legal maxims straight out the Black Law Dictionary. When you hear people speaking, oh, I got game. I give you game. This is the game. Man, all of that came from legal maxims. All of it. All of it. None of it came from some dude who was just sitting there thinking of a magnificent thought. Although, I will say, that's how these maxims came about. Somebody logically thinking. But what I'm saying is when we hear people talk about spitting game and all this stuff, ain't nothing new under the sun. We hearing the same old stuff they've been saying since been. Good faith is as much a guarantee to a possessor as is truth, as long as the law poses no impediment. Good faith is as much a guarantee to a possessor as is truth. So having good faith in your possession, you don't need proof of the truth. You got good faith. Good faith comes in results. So For example, when the officer searches your car because he said it smelled like weed, that's not good faith at that point. That's not probable cause. Now, once he finds some weed, now it's probable cause. Now he acted in good faith because he found it. But if he don't find nothing and he searched you for nothing, it was in bad faith. He lied about what he smelled. There's no way to prove you smell anything because there's nothing here. Bad faith and a lie. So when you don't got good faith, it's good to have the truth. It's good to have the truth on your side. A chance mishap excuses one from a charge of delay. A chance mishap. Okay, so things happen and people end up tardy. And when you're tardy, you could be charged for that, depending on the position you in. Can't be late to your meetings. It's business. It's not personal. A chance event is not to be expected, and no one is bound to foresee it. A chance event. Things happen by chance. That's almost like when we was reading the other day about natural disasters and stuff like that. How natural disasters harm no one. Similar here. A chance event is not to be expected, and no one is bound to foresee it. No one could have saw this coming. I like the chance events. Consent makes law. A contract constitutes law between the parties agreeing to be bound by it. Consent makes law. Consensus facet legem. Okay. Consent makes law. Consent. Don't consent. Never say yes. Never say yes. Don't consent. Can I search your car? I don't consent. Can I see your ID? I don't consent. We got to take you in. I don't consent. Need you to sign this ticket. I don't consent. How you move next is up to you. Don't get ignorant. I don't consent though. They get ignorant fast. They get ignorant real fast, boy. Look at this. Let's see. This straight game right here. This is it right here. What's the one right here? Hold on. One confirms a use who removes an abuse. It says one affirms the legacy of a practice by eliminating any misuse or abuse associated with it. This underscores the importance of ensuring that actions or behaviors are aligned with intended purposes and ethical standards. Yeah, man. So when there's abuse, man, it's got to be removed. And then whoever removes the abuse is the one who confirms the use. You know, because you're not supposed to be getting abused out here. And these legal maxims, man, it's not just dealing with one thing. These maxims, they deal with property, they deal with contracts, they deal with divorce, they deal with agencies. It's different things. Just like this says, the conscience of the law depends on the law. So I think a lot of people get confused when they try to beat their cases and deal with the law. They try to exercise laws and titles with agencies that have no relation, or that the nature is not the same. You know, Title 15 is commerce and trade. Title 12 is banks. Title 31 is money. Title 18 is crimes. These different titles describes the different statutes for the jurisdiction or the area of law that you need to get your information in. I'm trying to choose the words the best, boy. Because You could be thinking that you're doing the right thing because you're reading this law, but when you zoom out and look at the title, it has nothing to do with the topic on the table, with the nature of the cause in your hand. Nothing. It has nothing to do. And I've made these mistakes. I've looked at laws and read the title and not really realized that the first part of the title is probably the most important part. Title what? 18. Title 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way to 54. Which title is it? Because the title is going to let you know what you're dealing with. What you dealing with, man. So, the conscience of the law depends on the law. Looking for these. There's a lot of them that's kind of they so deep. I'm really picking the easy ones out the litter. No one can confirm before the right accrues to him. You can't pre-confirm. Confirmation is something that's done after something that's been presented to you. You cannot allow people to confirm for you ahead of time. Like a lawyer, public defender. You got to get what you got to get and get people about your way. A confirmation is null where the preceding gift is invalid. Hold on. A gift. What is a gift? A preceding gift is null. If a preceding gift in action is found to be invalid or void, any subsequent confirmation or affirmation of it would be also rendered as null and void. When something is null and void at point A, it's going to be null and void at point Z until you correct it at point A. Damn. Now listen to this, y'all. To all you brothers plea bargaining. To the plea bargain posse. A person who has confessed his guilt when arraigned. A person who has confessed his guilt when arraigned is considered to have been tried and is, as it were, condemned by his own sentence. Man, do not condemn yourself by your own sentence. Don't do it. Too many of us, 95% of the people in jail took a plea bargain, but you don't need to. This is why we running through these legal maxims so we could get it up on that level with them yarmulkes. You trying to get on that level. Trying to get on that level where, you know, all these hating individuals that don't want to see your people free from the penitentiary, that come in and put stains on us and put us on these lists. You're going to get put on the list. Try and do something righteous. You're going to get put on a list. You're going to get put on a list. Are you ready for that? Are you prepared for that? And then they got all these agents online and people that have won, desperate people as well, giving misinformation and not using any law to back it up. Don't be misled. The law is free. Somebody could sell it to you, but it's right there. That's why I'm gonna show you all these laws. I don't just get on here and talk. I'm gonna show you some laws. Everything I say backed up by the law. Here we go. Pledge of government obligations in lieu of a surety bond, in lieu of a bond with sureties. Pledge. What's that mean? Pledge. A transfer of security interest in a government obligation to a bond official's agency as collateral in lieu of a bond with surety. What's that mean? Well, what's a government obligation? Government obligation means a public debt obligation of the United States government or the state government, and an obligation whose principal and interest is unconditionally guaranteed by the United States government or the state government. You hear what it? Hold on. You see what it said? I don't understand. I don't know if you understand. Unconditionally guaranteed. Ain't no conditions. Ain't no conditions on a government obligation. It's unconditional. Irrevocable. In lieu of a bond with surety. An obligor required by federal law or regulation to furnish a bond with surety or sureties may give in lieu thereof to a bond official any security acceptable under Title 31 United States Code Section 9301 as amended. The Secretary will designate classes of government obligations acceptable under this part. B, but the bond, at a minimum, shall irrevocably authorize the bond official to collect, sell, assign, or transfer the government obligations and any interest retained therefrom in the event of the obligor's default in performing any of the terms, conditions, or stipulations of such bond, unless otherwise provided by law. The bond shall authorize the bond official to apply the proceeds from sale, assignment, or transfer of such government obligations, in whole or in part, to satisfy any costs incurred by the United States related to the default and to apply any excess proceeds to satisfy any other claim of the United States against the obligor. Now, all that sounds really confusing. All it's saying is you got to give them an obligation. At a minimum, this obligation needs to have a bond on it, and it needs to irrevocably authorize the bond official to collect, sell, transfer such government obligations. Now, when y'all paying bond, who y'all pay y'all bond to? If y'all know what I'm talking about, put that in the comments, man. Who you pay your bond with, man? Who you pay your bond with, man? Who you got to pay? Who is the bond official? It ain't the judge. It ain't the judge. Let me ask you a question. Which one of these officers in court is authorized to collect, sell, or transfer? Which officer does that? Who collects, sells, and transfers? The sheriff. Wake up. The sheriff. His name is on the jail. You post a bill, you can post it with the sheriff 24/7. The sheriff is the bond official. Now, the way you post the bond is not by sending it. The posted government obligation is not by sending it directly to the sheriff. No, there's a way to send it. There's a way to get it registered. You need to get it registered. You don't send these in to a bank like it's a regular post office money order, even though it's a post office money order equivalent. But these government obligations, they got to be sent to a certain department. The same way when you got a deed, who you take your deed to? Who you take your deed to? All my homeowners. Who you take your deed to? Or your fictitious business name. All that. Where you take that to? Where do you take your property and your trust? You want to take it to the court or the what? The county recorder. They call it the registrar. The county registrar / recorder, where they record your information like your birth certificate, like your home deed, like all kinds of stuff that got to do with non-judicial information. But when it comes to judicial public records, who is the registrar for them? Who is the registrar for the courts? We know who the county registrar is. That's the sometimes Secretary of State, whatever. In LA, it's in Norwalk, the county registrar. But when you go to court, they got a registrar too. It's called the Administrative Office of the Courts. Yeah, they don't like that. They don't like I just said that. It's a fact though. You want to post your bond? You want to post your government obligation? You got to post that with the right people, baby. You got to put that up in the property records. You got to post that like you post a deed, my baby. You ain't finna get out here and just be willy-nilly and think you finna play around with these people, but you gonna definitely make them do their job. Make them do their job. Pledge of government obligations in lieu of a bond. Make them do their job, y'all. Pledge them government obligations. Pledge them government obligations. You got them? Pledge them. They give them to you. Every time you get a ticket, they gave you a government obligation. Every time they give you a ticket. They be mad all they want about watching this video. Every time they give you a ticket, they give you a government obligation. Every time they give you a indictment, a complaint, anything that got your title on it, it's a government obligation. And they already took an oath that they was going to honor and support the law and pay back every debt that they got dollar for dollar. I don't owe you a damn thing. Government owe me everything, though, because they lost it all in 1933. They lost it all. They never recovered from it. This is why they got these tax returns. They trying to get you to pay income tax so you can help them pay off these foreign countries, because they went in so much debt that they lost all our money. The people's money is gone. Public debt is in default, and it's been in default since 1933. This can be verified. 1992, James Trafficking Jr., Ohio Democratic speaker, on the floor, addressed the House and told them that this is a bankrupt country, and told them that this bankruptcy and the way that they was trying to come out of it was going to lead to the demise of this country. Man, we in this country. Would you like to be on the boat when it sinks, or would you rather keep the boat floating? It's up to you. I think we're going to have to be the ones to keep the boat floating, y'all. These people is out of control, man. They don't know how to be peaceful with other nations. They don't know how to get things done for everybody. They out of control, man. Really, we just going to have to take care of business ourselves. Get into these politics. Get into these laws. And don't let people get in your pockets. You got to be like Trump when it comes to the political thing, even though he's on their side too. You know, they got a whole little thing going on. And we can't say it's white and black. It's the government is against everybody. Everybody who ignorant. That's what it really is. You know, because I'm not finna badmouth the government. The government doing their job. Period. We the ones that's not doing our job. We the ones that don't know the law. We the ones that can't express what needs to be done and why it needs to be done immediately. We can't do that. And until we can do that, we can't play this blame game, y'all. We can't play this blame game, y'all. I used to feel like that term, pull yourself up by your bootstraps, was real derogatory, and it is. But it's true, man. You got to pull yourself up by your bootstraps. We got to pull ourselves up. You know how many people is in jail? Hold on. Let's go ahead and read this real quick. Da-da-da. Come on, man. The U.S. prison population was 1,230,100 people incarcerated on December 31st, 2022, according to the Prisons Report series preliminary data release published in September 2023 by the Bureau of Justice and Statistics. The prison population increased to roughly 1.8 million people incarcerated at the end or by the end of the year 2003, according to Statista.com. The United States is home of the largest number of prisoners worldwide. Plea bargaining has become the primary way to resolve criminal cases in the United States, with nearly 98% of convictions nationwide currently coming from guilty pleas. But plea bargaining as currently practiced is often unjust, unfair, and lacks transparency, according to a new report released by the Plea Bargain Task Force, a group convened by the Criminal Justice Section of the American Bar Association. America is a free country, according to its founding fathers. What and how is a free country? Free means without pay. Free means that Obligations of and to the government are dischargeable dollar for dollar upon tender of payment, as opposed to taxation without representation. Free means labor at no cost. The laws belong to the people, and the ignorance of the law is no defense. The law is real energy, not false energy appearing real. The first step is education. Then second is the application of one's knowledge. Proper education applies to court etiquette and peaceful settlements, y'all. Dropping it. Legal maxims. The laws of legal power. Legal maxim flashcards coming out soon. Appreciate y'all tapping in. I'm out. Peace.